It's Monday, December 1st. In the headlines, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness tours a kampong in St. Elizabeth. In business news, ITEL's CEO Yoni Epstein says BPO sector must rebound quickly to preserve jobs. Regionally, Lieutenant Colonel the Most Honorable Jeffrey Bostick is the new president of Barbados. And in sports, Reggae Girls blank Dominica 18-0. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. As he continues to visit communities hard hit by Hurricane Melissa, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness toured a kampong in St. Elizabeth on the weekend. Dr. Holness also held a meeting with a kampong's chief, Richard Curry, to coordinate the distribution of aid and plan reconstruction efforts.
This got almost full force of the damage.
The wall of the hurricane actually passed over Kampong, right?
Yes.
There's always this mystic that I don't want to hear. I don't want to dispel that right now.
My friend, I go everywhere in Jamaica.
So why don't you afraid of?
You must go to your mind.
Starlink devices and a generator were among the supplies brought to the Kampong Primary School to ensure that learning continues uninterrupted.
I present you with for the school. So Chief, I gather you have several of these.
Yeah,
so you can show him how to set it up.
Prime Minister Holness says he's committed to rebuilding, restoration, and to ensure that no community is left behind. The recently held I Love Jamaica telethon raised more than $65 million in support of the National Hurricane Melissa Relief Program. That's the word from Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Olivia Grange. The telethon and virtual concert was produced through a partnership between the Ministry of Culture and members of the entertainment fraternity and featured nearly 30 of Jamaica's top reggae dancehall and gospel artists. Minister Grange has expressed gratitude to all who contributed, noting that the telethon forms part of the wider I Love Jamaica fundraising initiative. The campaign also includes a series of in-person concerts planned for major cities with large Jamaican diasporas, including London, New York, and Miami.
$45 million had already been received and deposited to the Support Jamaica account, and we anticipate that an additional sum of approximately $20 million, which has been pledged, would be received soon. Thank you to Jamaicans at home and in the diaspora, as well as members of corporate Jamaica and the people of the world who are rallying in every way possible to support our brothers and sisters who are hardest hit by this most powerful of hurricanes.
The minister is reminding the public that donations to the National Hurricane Relief effort can still be made at supportjamaica.gov.jm or japromise.org. Donations are also being accepted through text messaging. To donate $150, text GIVE to 876-444-5501. To donate $1,000, text GIVE to 876-444-5502. And to donate $5,000, text GIVE to 876-444-5503. Jamaica's healthcare response to Hurricane Melissa is getting a major boost from China. Speaking at a media briefing on Thursday, Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton said the naval hospital ship Silk Road Ark, currently anchored in Pedro Keys, has arrived with 104 medical professionals.
The Chinese hospital ship, the Ark Silk Road, arrived in Jamaica's territorial waters on November 22nd and is now anchored at the Pedro Keys. It will relocate to the Falmouth Pier this weekend. A total of 104 medical professionals are on board, including 60 doctors, 32 nurses, pharmacists, and technicians. And that's another big boost to capacity of healthcare provision.
The health minister says that the arrival of the medical professionals will be a big boost to the capacity of healthcare provision.
I want to just recognize and thank the Chinese government for their support, and in this instance, a medical floating vessel with the personnel and equipment. The Office of the Chief Medical Officer is working with them and the team on the ground to find the best and most efficient approach to treating with patients or certainly any other type of clinical support or otherwise logistic support that may be necessary as we seek to build back our facilities. So this is a first announcement, but it's a big boost, I believe, that will support our team in the field and further show the collaboration, the friendship, and certainly the preparation that would have been made and are being made to support Jamaicans in this difficult time.
Hospitals across affected areas continue to operate with support from reopened health centers. International aid, including teams from the UK, the United States, India, Spain, and Israel, is also assisting Jamaica's recovery. With these additional medical resources, authorities say healthcare services are steadily improving across the hurricane-affected regions. Today, December 1, is World AIDS Day. Jamaica joins the World Health Organization, its partners, and communities to commemorate the event under the theme Overcoming Disruption, Transforming the AIDS Response. The partners are calling for sustained political leadership, international cooperation, and human rights-centered approaches to end AIDS by 2030. After decades of progress, the HIV response stands at a crossroads. Life-saving services are being disrupted, and many communities face heightened risks and vulnerabilities. USAID funding cuts have triggered a crisis in the global AIDS response, leading to loss of access to life-saving medication and increased infections. Cuts have directly impacted prevention services, resulting in lower condom use and relative drug access in countries like Burundi and Uganda. These reductions also threaten supply chains for essential drugs and disrupt community health programs. Yet, amid these challenges, hope endures in the determination, resilience, and innovation of communities who strive to end AIDS. One avenue of hope is the continued development of life-saving drugs. Have you heard about lenacapavir, or LEN? A new drug WHO recommends to protect people at risk of HIV.
These days, we could all use some good news. So here's a big one. Thanks to life-saving treatment, over 40 million people around the world are living with HIV. However, new infections continue to challenge efforts to end the epidemic. In 2024 alone, over 1.3 million people were newly diagnosed. Daily pills like oral PrEP have been a breakthrough for HIV prevention. But for some people, taking daily pills or keeping up with health appointments isn't easy. This is why a new drug recently recommended by the WHO for HIV prevention could change everything. It's called lenacapavir, or LEN for short, and this is why it could be a game changer. Instead of taking daily pills, people can get injections every 6 months. No more daily pills, fewer tests, and fewer visits. At a time where funding for HIV is limited, this means fewer new infections and more lives saved. We still don't have an HIV vaccine, but LEN may be the closest thing yet. In trials, it prevented almost all new HIV infections and was safe and well tolerated. And the best part, it is expected to be affordable for people in low and middle income countries. That means HIV prevention could soon be within reach for millions more. Now, we need to make sure it's rolled out quickly and equitably around the world, because everyone deserves the right to protect their health in a way that fits their life.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. Chairman and CEO of ITEL, Yoni Epstein, explained to RJR News that about 20% of the BPO sector based in Montego Bay is currently non-functional, forcing some operators to look for alternative locations in Kingston to keep services going. He noted that 60% of ITEL's operations are in Montego Bay, and roughly 55% of that was affected by the hurricane. However, the company has been partially shielded because 40% of its operations are located in Kingston and overseas. Mr. Epstein warned that the speed of recovery in telecoms and energy will be crucial in determining the future of the BPO industry, stressing that international partners will not wait forever if Jamaica cannot reliably deliver services. The Jamaica Mortgage Bank will be shifting its focus towards financing low-income housing in Western Jamaica, where communities were hard hit by Hurricane Melissa. Managing Director Courtney Winter explained that this pivot is one of the key reasons the bank sought the arrangement of a $1.5 billion unsecured bond through Proven Wealth. The funds are being used to refinance debt that matured earlier this year, freeing up some cash flow to complete some 800 housing units already under construction and to begin new low-income developments in the western end of the island. For the trading period ending November 28, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Wigton Energy Limited with 13,720,990 units, representing 24.65% of market sales volume. One-on-One Educational Services Limited with 4,969,868 units, representing 8.93% of market sales volume. Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 4,952,424 units, representing 8.9% of market sales volume. We now shift our focus to the Forex market rate set by the Bank of Jamaica. On November 28, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $51.50 million purchased and US $51.85 million sold by Forex traders. Forex traders earned $1.86 per dollar, selling the US at $159.34 and buying the US at $161.20. The Canadian dollar netted Forex traders 97 cents per transaction, with selling at $115.07 and buying at $114.10. The British pound yielded Forex traders $3.05 in profits, with selling at $211 and buying at $214.05. For our credit report tip of the day, when life comes at you with a blow you never saw coming, everything feels like it's slipping through your fingers. Your plans, your stability, your confidence. Let me give you a tip. Just because there's a crisis, the banking sector, the lending sector, the grant funding sector will not change their requirements for paperwork. You must provide documentation that is required. And this is why your credit report becomes more than numbers on a page. It becomes your voice when you're exhausted, your proof that you've been trying, your reminder that you haven't given up, it opens the door for conversations, because the people who have to make the decision to give you money are accountable. And the credit report is that tool that allows you to walk into the conversation not defeated, but determined. And if you need 6 months of breathing room, that credit report is what will allow you to regain your strength. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, Barbados has a new head of state. Lieutenant Colonel the Most Honorable Jeffrey Bostick, raised in the inner city of Chapman, was sworn in as the country's second president on Sunday. And in his first address, President Bostick signaled that charting a new course for the nation's youth will be one of his top priorities.
I, Jeffrey Davidson Bostick, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Barbados, according to law, so help me God.
Hailing originally from the inner city community of Chapman Lane, Lieutenant Colonel the Most Honorable Jeffrey Bostick will now take up residence at State House as President of Barbados. His first address as President made it clear that a focus on the youth will be among his priorities. That was evident when he announced his intention to launch the Chapman Challenge, which he has dubbed a national call to action.
To our young people I say, set your sights high. Do not retreat from your destiny, nor surrender yourself to those things which harm your ambition.
He wants individuals, community leaders and groups, as well as institutions, to find those young people searching for someone to believe in them and provide them with the opportunity to rise.
The climber needs a rope and the ship needs stability. And so I am calling for an army of anchors. We need men and women of experience to step forward. We need the churches and other faith-based organizations to step forward. We need sporting and cultural organizations to step forward. We need you to be the steady hand that prevents a drift. We need you to hold the line for a child who is trying to find his or her way.
And he says the national motto for the mission will be From the Lane to Hillaby.
Every year at State House, we will present the twin awards of the Chapman Challenge. We will present the Anchor Award to the mentor who stood firm, who gave their time, and who saved a future. And we will present the Hillaby Award to the young challenger who climbed the highest, who overcame the odds, and who reached their personal summit. This is my promise to you. If you are willing to climb, we will provide the rope.
And the President Bostick, reflecting on his humble beginnings, thanked those who helped him to reach State House, especially his family.
To my children and grandchildren, who I love most dearly, the ones who sacrificed and suffered the most, on the many occasions when national duty required me to be absent from them, the ones who had to share me with the country we all love, I say a big thank you for staying the course with me. And this is from Bobby and Daddy with love.
The former Minister of Health and Wellness, who also had a long distinguished career in the Army, is also known for his steadfast leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic, especially his mantra, no retreat, no surrender. After President Emeritus, the Most Honorable Dame Sandra Mason departed at 8:02 a.m., the new president was installed at 8:04 a.m. Immediately after that, he ascended the saluting dais for his first presidential 21-gun salute. King of Jordan, His Majesty King Abdullah II, and the Prime Minister of Guyana, Mark Phillips, joined other dignitaries and especially invited guests for the installation ceremony. Onesta Henry, CBC News.
The Caribbean community deployed a 10-member election observation mission to St. Vincent and the Grenadines for the general elections held on November 27, 2025. With polls now closed and a new Prime Minister, Goodwin Friday, installed, they have published their preliminary observers report. TTT News' Sinilala has the details.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines went into its 2025 general elections under heightened public scrutiny, concerns about voter readiness, campaign financing, and external interference. CARICOM deployed a 10-member election observation mission to independently assess the November 27th vote, responding to a formal request from the government. The mission included senior electoral officials from 7 CARICOM countries, supported by members of the CARICOM Secretariat. Stakeholders raised several key issues, including unease about external actors and possible post-election tensions. On election day itself, CARICOM observers visited more than 85% of polling stations across mainland St. Vincent. Most stations opened on time with adequate materials, but delays did occur due to staff inexperience and inconsistent procedures. Despite these challenges, the CARICOM mission reported that the elections were generally orderly, peaceful, and marked by strong civic engagement. A full report with recommendations will now be submitted to the CARICOM Secretary General. Sonolala, TTT News.
Guyana has recorded at least 449 new HIV infections in 2025, and Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony on Friday said the rise is alarming, especially since many of the cases could have been prevented. Speaking at a National Workplace Policy Forum at the Arthur Chung Conference Center, Dr. Anthony said the latest UNAIDS figures show that Guyana must intensify its testing and prevention efforts. Overall, about 10,000 people in Guyana are living with HIV, with many receiving treatment, an important factor in preventing further transmission. Notably, individuals in their 20s account for a significant share of new cases, a trend the ministry finds particularly worrying.
In the Caribbean, we have 340,000 persons or so living with HIV. And over the last year, we would have had about 15,000 new infections. In the past year here in Guyana, we would have diagnosed at least 449 new infections. And again, many of this could have been prevented. The government of Guyana would have invested close to $500,000 to buy the viral load equipment to ensure that for all the persons who are on treatment and we need to do their viral loads, that we have the capacity to do the viral load to check. And therefore, by doing that, we'll be able to guide treatment for these persons. And so we have come a long way. And now you have all the tools at our disposal to ensure that we reduce further the cases of, the new cases of HIV to begin with, and those who are already infected, that we work with that population to ensure that we have all of them being virally suppressed. And that should be the goal. And if we are able to accomplish that, then by 2030, we would be well on our way to eliminating HIV as a public health threat. We are actively exploring how we can access these injections so that we can bring them to Guyana. And for those persons who would be at risk, that we are able to make this available to them.
In sports, we kick off our report with football. Jamaica's Reggae Girls have made a dominant start to their CONCACAF women's qualifiers, delivering a record-breaking 18-0 demolition of Dominica at the Darren Sammy Cricket Stadium in St. Lucia on Saturday. The victory puts Jamaica atop Group B on goal difference. Captain Khadija Bunny Shaw, Kiki Van Zanten, and Jody Brown each scored hat-tricks in a ruthless attacking display that underscored the team's intent for the campaign. The win also erased the previous national scoring records in World Cup qualifiers, a 14-0 result against St. Lucia in 2014 and a 30-0 win over Guadeloupe in 2018. In cricket, the Barbados Pride gave their nation a perfect Independence Day gift by winning the regional Super 50 cricket tournament on Saturday. Unfortunately, Trinidad and Tobago were the beaten finalists, going under by 9 wickets at the Brian Lara Stadium.
Happy Independence Day, Barbados. The Barbados Pride gave their nation a perfect Independence Day gift by winning the regional Super 50 cricket tournament on Saturday. Unfortunately, TNC were the beaten finalists, going under by 9 wickets at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in Tarouba.
It was a meeting between two unbeaten teams in a truncated, rain-affected CG United Super 50 tournament. Both teams, the Barbados Pride and the Trinidad and Tobago Red Force, would have preferred to field first in a day-nighter, but the Bajans won the toss and sent TNC into bat. The faithful who attended the final at the Brian Lara Stadium in Tarouba witnessed a Barbadian spin display led by Joshua Bishop, who accounted for both openers Cephas Cooper and Tion Webster, who top-scored with 43. The left-arm orthodox then got the wicket of Jason Mohammed, who was featuring in his last 50-over game for Trinidad and Tobago. He departed on 12. Add Terence Hines, and that's 4 wickets for Bishop in his player of the match performance. Another lefty, Dominic Drakes, did his damage with pace, accounting for 4 wickets himself, including a spectacular diving caught-on bowl to dismiss the skipper Joshua De Silva for 9. Red Force bowled out in 42.3 overs with just 168 runs on the board. Barbados Pride looked untroubled in the chase, with skipper Kyle Mayers setting the tone. His opening punter, Lenico Boucher, got to 50 before Terence Hines got his wicket caught by Joshua James. Only a late rain delay caused the Bajans any anxiety before Mayers, with his unbeaten 89 and Zachary McCaskey, 19 not out, got their team over the line. They needed just 29.3 overs to get to 169 for 1 to seal a 9-wicket win and the CG United Super 50 title, their first 50-over title in 7 years. Congratulations to the Barbados Pride. Wayne Cunningham, TDT Sport.
And that's the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platform at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.